Welcome, colleagues. Welcome to World Obesity Day and the start of these European activities on the 4th of March 2022. It's my great pleasure to welcome you on behalf of the European Association for the Study of Obesity to our special event from the MEP Special Interest Group on Obesity and Health Systems Resilience, From Words to Action, Addressing Obesity Together. I know that you've come from many different parts of Europe and from all over the world, and I know that many of you are undertaking activities around World Obesity Day. So please let us know what you're doing in the chat function so we can get a real feel for what's going on around the region and around the world as well. It's my role today to give you some housekeeping activity and to tell you about the agenda before passing on to MEP Pernille Weiss to officially open the event. So, for the housekeeping, the event today is scheduled to last 1.5 hours. Please use social media to talk about the event. So please use the hashtags Obesity Day Europe, Obesity Policy, Obesity NCD to tweet about the event. We remind you that interpretation is available. You can listen to the session discussions in English, so please select the language of your choice. We will have a dedicated Q&A session in the agenda for you to pose questions to the speakers using Slido. So for optimal viewing, please refrain from going full screen. You're invited to share your thoughts and queries in writing using the chat panel at any time. And please be aware that the meeting is being recorded live through Zoom. You can also see in the platform speaker biographies and an excellent patient gallery from the ECPO. So please take some time to look at those gallery pictures and stories and also the biographies of today's panelists. And so today's agenda is rather full. We will start with welcome and introductions. We will then talk about a joint declaration on a European framework for obesity national plans within the NCD framework before our first panel discussion, which is 1 year on from the launch of the MEP Interest Group. We'll then have our question session before having a second panel discussion, Healthier Together, how can we support member states to make a difference on obesity? And then we have some next steps before closing around 11 o'clock Central European time. So with that, it gives me great pleasure to hand the floor to Pernille Weiss, MEP and chair of this MEP Interest Group, to officially open the event. So Pernille, the floor is yours. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you so much, Ewan, and good morning to everybody from everywhere. I am very delighted to welcome you this Friday, sunny day in my country, Denmark, where I am right now. It's a pleasure, really, and also to be taken on board with a big amount of pride, not on my own behalf, but on the behalf of the group of the interest group with together my colleague Susana Solís and Sara Cerdas, but especially with the team of the ASO Secretariat, who really have been innovative and also very creative in doing this journey until now. That is not it's not a year since we started the interest group of MEPs, but the co-creation together with the ASO, now having this day together with the rest of the world on the World Obesity Day Europe is very important. So congratulations to everybody who contributed, but also thank you very much for your strong effort. I can only underline also from personal reasons, since my first education is a nurse. So being a politician on the European Parliament now, being able to work with the very fundamental foundations beneath people and families' health, related to the very serious fact that almost 60% of plus 18-year-old Europeans are faced with either preconditions to obesity or actually are having obesity as an NCD. So we really need to pull our strengths together, also to be more united and clear to the rest of the political environment, but also as to address the many citizens, NGOs, research environments, universities, and especially also our life science and pharmaceutical industries in Europe, that the way that we from now on, after this day with the declaration in hand, can pull in the important strings that make EU the continent that really shows the rest of the world and ourselves how we can beat the severe and serious threats that obesity is. Not only must we thrive towards having the most healthy and happiest continent on the world as a proud democracy and human rights representative, but also we must be very much aligned with the many implications that it has to our healthy economy and how we can even be more innovative and create a good role model for the rest of the globe. So yes, today we launch our joint declaration, and I'm very, very happy that we do so. And now I hand over to my co-chair, Susana Solís, who I can see sitting in sunny Brussels. So also World Obesity Day in Europe has sun in Brussels. So thank you for giving me the floor, and I look very much forward to a wonderful morning together with all of you. Thank you.
Muchísimas gracias, querida Pernille.
Thank you very much, dear Pernille. And thank you very much, everyone. Welcome from Brussels, from the Parliament, the European Parliament. And thank you, everyone, for making this day possible, and all these people, the participants, more than 400 participants that are here today in this World Obesity Day. But today, we shouldn't be here. And the message I want to send from the Parliament is very clear. We need to take from words, speak about this NCD that impacts more than 57% of the Europeans and is a disease like cancer and other cardiovascular diseases. Today, we don't want to just create awareness around obesity, but we want to have a roadmap so that Europe has a real roadmap and can give new opportunities. And it doesn't matter where we are, in Poland, in Spain, and everyone, but just take our words and make them into action so that we have national plans in obesity in all member states that will be speaking about the diagnosis, the treatment, and the next steps. We won't have a resilient Europe if we don't speak about these important topics and we don't tackle these differences we have between member states and countries. And the first step is by identifying our barriers, the opportunities that we have, but also the best practices. In this study trip that we did in 5 different countries, we were able to do a very important analysis with patients, experts, researchers, and we were able to know the real problems, but also start new plans and new policies at a local, national, and European level. Thank you very much for your engagement. Thank you very much for your work, because the result is this declaration that we are going to be showing today. Thank you very much. I am very proud to be part of this group, to be able to help a little bit and work towards new steps to achieve our targets. We have been combating against COVID in Europe, and now we are showing with the Ukrainian crisis that we are united. And if we want to speak about obesity, we need to be united, because Europe is the right place to be united. Thank you very much. So today we are going to advance and continue our path to end obesity. And I just want to thank the EASO Association and everyone who is here today. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone. On World Obesity, for me to speak up as Vice Chair of the MEP Interest Group on Obesity and Health Systems Resilience. It is inspiring to have so many people dedicated to finding solutions to support better health outcomes for people living with obesity and those who work to make health systems fit for this purpose. And it's mostly encouraging to know that we at the EU level policymakers, with the contribution of all of you, are able to keep building back resilience by promoting evidence-based policies that can have real-world impact. Obesity is currently the 4th highest independent cause of premature mortality, responsible for 8% of all deaths in the world. It is a gateway chronic disease to 20% preventable adult cancers, 35% of cardiovascular disease, and 80% of type 2 diabetes. Obviously, it is time to act together to address obesity as the major non-communicable disease that it is. Today, we launch a joint declaration towards key components that need to be included in any framework for national plans on obesity. There's emphasizing the importance of health literacy, early diagnosis, accessibility to treatment, and multidisciplinary long-term management as key pillars for any approach to this major non-communicable disease. Keeping in mind the need for continuous research efforts on better ways to tackle this worldwide threat. And lastly, we count on all of you to make the difference on fighting obesity at international, national, regional, and local level.
So, okay, thank you so much. As you can hear, we are 3 chairs together, very much aligned and also very much on top of all the data that also you have, all participants and your families in each organization and research environment, whoever is participating. It's a great pleasure to be so much aligned, also because Sara and Susana and I is covering 3 of the very large groups in the European Parliament, and that is why we together really can pull the European Parliament in the right direction. But we cannot do it alone, because the member states have a lot to say on the competences and how to structure the healthcare sector. So we need to do it in a way where we really engage and build up the sense of urgentness to this topic, but also that we do it in a way where people really from all member states and in the environment like to co-create with each other, that we like to be curious to watch each other, to learn and to develop new models of how to deal with obesity. So that's a very good atmosphere also to have on board for the journey onwards with this declaration. So thank you so much. Now it will be that Jacqueline is taking over now. You have a lot on your heart and some very concrete things to say, so please.
I do. Thank you so much.